Thank you, Brother Sidong, for reading. Good morning. We all have needs, and all human beings have needs. And we define our needs differently. Some of them we define as basic needs, some of them we define as more like luxurious needs. You understand? And some sociologists, I think this is something that's not new to many of us, like Maslow, he has actually this categorization of needs. And I think it's quite familiar to a lot of people who have gone through sociology study or psychological studies. They put that as the most basic needs as our physical needs, like needs for food, shelter, water, and all this. And we may not agree with the way he, everything that he says here, but we do agree with the categorization, that there are other type of needs. But for the 21st century people, there are probably more basic needs than this. So we have a new type of Maslow hierarchy of needs, like this. The most basic needs is battery and Wi-Fi. More basic than our basic needs. So the first thing you go to a hotel, what do people ask for? They got Wi-Fi or not? What's the password? Right? So this is a basic need. We change our definition of basic needs. And today we added on to our basic needs like gadgets, handphones, iPads, and all this. And for Singaporeans, maybe we add a lot more. Well, you have a safe CPF account. You have a retirement fund ready for you, at least a 4-room flat or at least a yearly tour somewhere. I think we define all these as basic needs. And when we saw this, what we define as our needs or basic needs are not met, we met with various reactions. Sometimes people are angry. But true matter is, some countries, some of these very basic needs are not even met. Like some people in some countries, they actually die of starvation. And in many countries, they don't even have clean water to drink. Well, we are very fortunate in Singapore that we can just turn on the tap and we just can drink from the tap. And we have food like 24/7. If you're hungry, just go downstairs, there's 7-Eleven, there's 24-hour McDonald's. And if that's not enough, if you are lazy to leave your house, we have Food Panda, we have Deliveroo, we have a lot of things, And today, the passage is really talking about basic needs, daily needs issue. And first portion, we're going to comb through this whole reading that Sito has done for us from 15:22 to 17 verse 3. So the first one, let's take a look at the map here. Yeah, so they left the Red Sea, and they traveled to this place called the Wilderness of Shur. And traveling down in the wilderness, they came to some serious problem, which is a water supply problem. And they ran out of water. But then they found a source. But the problem is that this water is undrinkable. It is bitter. And they began to complain in verse 24, chapter 5:24. And then there was a solution. God miraculously provided a solution by throwing a shrub or put a log there or a tree in some most likely it's a shrub in the wilderness, and throw into the water, and the water becomes sweet. Then we read after that the Lord gave them more provision. In verse 27, the Lord led them to this place called Elim. So in Elim, there are 12 springs, and in some versions actually put there are 70 date palms, which they actually can eat from, those sweet dates. And so there were more provision given to God's people. Then we come very quickly to the second problem. And they travel from wilderness of Shur, they travel downward to this wilderness of Sin. And as they traveled down, they met with another problem, and they began to complain. And what's the complaint? They say there's no meat and there's no bread. Well, understandably, when you are traveling in the wilderness, you need energy, right? You need protein, meat, you need carbohydrates from your bread. So they need this energy. And they were saying in verse 3, we get a lot of this in Egypt, with pots of meat, and we have bread to the food. They have a lot of this. And what was the solution? Well, God again miraculously provided quails that land on them and covered the whole camp in verse 30. And this happens in the evening, and in the morning, it was told to us in verse 14, there were this flake-like coriander seed-like in verse 31. And it tastes like waffle with honey. And the Israelites call this manna. verse 15. And manna is really, in the Hebrew form of it, is what is this? What is this? It's called manna. What is this? So, and after that, verse 25 told us that there was more provision. This manna followed them through until they reach Canaan's land, until they reach the age of Canaan. So God gave them even more provision. Then, chapter 17, we come to another problem, and it is again water problem. It sounds like Singapore actually. I always come to water problem. And verse 17, 1 to 3. So they travel further down, to this place called Rafidim. Okay, and there was again a complaint. No water, and they were complaining and they were actually arguing with Moses. And what was the solution? It was a miraculous solution given by God. Again, God said, hit the hard rock. So God provided Hard Rock Cafe. No, just kidding. God provided this place, this rock at Horeb, which is also probably the other side of Mount Sinai. And on this other ridge or bottom of the Mount Sinai. And he hit it, and water came out of it. So in all these three instances that we see, the problem of the basic needs were challenged. They were lacking in basic needs. And they gave the same reaction to Moses. They were complaining against Moses. Well, it is true that water and bread are basic needs. And the basic needs are really important. But it seems that the reaction from God's people showed us something. It showed us that they allow these basic needs to define them. So I put it here. They say basic needs are important, but they don't define us. Because there's something that are more basic than our basic needs. And what are they? What are things that are more basic than basic needs? Battery and Wi-Fi? And no, just kidding. What are more basic? Well, the relationship with God. Chapter 15, verse 26, God says that I am the one who heals you. God is saying here that I'm the one who will care for you, I'm the one who will protect you. Chapter 16, verse 12, it says, so that you may know, Israelites, that you may know that Yahweh, the Lord, is your God. They have a personal God who intimately knows their need. That's what it is. And to understand this experience they are going through, we need to read again from what Moses wrote when he was reflecting back on this incident in Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 3. Let me show you. Let me read for you. Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 3, he says here, as I show you the screen, he says, and he, God, humbled you and let you hunger and fed you with manna, which you do not know, nor did your father know, that you might know that that man does not live by bread alone. We are not defined by our basic needs. We do not live by bread alone, but man lives by every word that comes from the mouth of God, of the Lord. So the basic needs are important, but they do not define us. And I put here, what really defines us is the right or wrong relationship with God, our Creator. We are defined by a right or a wrong relationship with God, our Maker. Whether we live under the rule of God, under His Word, or we rule under our own rule, which is sin. A right relationship with God, our Creator, makes us His people. And a wrong relationship with God makes us His enemy, just like Pharaoh, who lived under his own rule. And moreover, in these incidences, we also see that the people of God also messed up in their definition of their basic needs. They put here, they redefine basic needs. They redefine the basic needs. Chapter 16, verse 3, they complain to Moses. They say, we do not have meat to eat. But is it true that the Israelites do not have meat? Take a look at chapter 17, verse 3. It says, why do you bring us out of Egypt to kill us and our children and our livestock? With thirst. Livestock? Did they say livestock? Yeah. If you remember, in earlier chapters during the 10 plagues, when God sends the 5th plague to kill the cattle of the Egyptians, the Israelites' cattle were spared. they have their livestock. And the seventh plague, when the hailstorm came, killing any human beings or livestock or cattle, the Israelites were spared again. And the 10th plague, when all the firstborn human beings and animals were killed, the Israelites were spared again. In fact, chapter 12, verse 38, it told us when the Israelites left the land of Egypt, the verse says they have not a large number of flocks, but they have a very large number of flocks, herds, and livestock. It's not that they do not have meat. The problem is they do not have the type of meat that they want. They do not have the type of meat that they want. They redefine basic needs. Just like we do. How do we redefine basic needs? Today we redefine basic needs as having battery, having Wi-Fi, having handphones. We define this as our basic needs now. And we get angry when we don't get them. All Singaporeans, we have a good CPF account, a proper retirement fund ready for us, or yearly tour. We think that this is our basic needs, or condo, or luxurious car. We think, you see, God's people, over here we see they do not just allow the basic need to define them, but they also redefine what basic needs is all about. In this journey here, the scripture tells us this journey is actually a test. This journey of going through these difficulties is actually a test. Chapter 15, verse 25, for them, the Lord says, then the Lord made for them a statutes and a rule, and there he tested them. And chapter 16, verse 4 again, he says, then the Lord said to Moses, behold, I am about to rain down bread from heaven, and the people shall go and gather them the day's portion every day, that I may test them, whether they will walk in my law or not. Well, you see, over here, what is happening is, God gives tests to show them, to show the Israelites, show these people what is inside them. Because God doesn't need a test to know his people. God already knows his people, right? So he's actually giving a test. I put here, he gives the test to reveal us. To us. To reveal what's inside us to us. So we come to our next portion in the outline. I put there fruit test. A test of what? And how is this test like? Well, these tests come in the form of instructions. And let's take a look at chapter 16 for some specific instructions that were given regarding this food. First, chapter 16, verse 4, there must be a daily collection. It said the people go out and they gather a day's portion every day. They have to collect day after day after day. Second, chapter 16, verse 9. It said, let no one leave any of it over till the morning. That means they cannot keep it overnight. I put here, there's no tapao. Shanyu. Tapao really means to take away. To take away. So you have to learn some of this Singlish from us. There's no tapao. Okay. You cannot keep overnight. So what is this test about? They must collect every day. Second, they cannot keep overnight. Well, the test is really this. This test from God is to really see whether in the hearts of his people they trust in God's faithfulness and in God's timely provision. To see whether God is faithful, God's faithfulness and God's timely provision. That's what the test is. They're testing what's inside them. But chapter 16, verse 20 told us that God's people failed. Can you see? They kept overnight. Why do they want to keep overnight? They were scared. They were afraid that there will not be any bread the next day. They did not trust that God will faithfully provide for them in time. And I put there, they doubted in God's faithfulness. They failed the test. Well, there's a second set of instructions regarding this food, and it comes in this test. It's part of this test. And what is the second set of instructions? There's a double collection on the 6th day. Chapter 16, verse 6, chapter 16, verse 23, 24. And this double collection, when they keep overnight, it will not spoil, and there won't even be any worms. And on the 7th day, no collection must be made. Verse 26 says, 6 days you shall collect it, but on the 7th day, which is Sabbath, there will be none for you to collect. So the instruction here was to keep Sabbath. Well, take a closer examine at what this Sabbath is all about. Sabbath. Chapter 16, verse 23, it says, "Today is the day of a solemn rest, a holy Sabbath to the Lord." So first we understand Sabbath is holy. Holy here means setting apart as something very important. So I put that holy really means to put it as a priority. Chapter 16, verse 25. Let me read for you. It says, "Eat it today, for today is a Sabbath to the Lord." You see, it is to the Lord. That is a focus, and the focus is God. So on the Sabbath, they are not supposed to do nothing. It's not doing nothing. But Sabbath, they are supposed to do the most important thing. And what's the most important thing to do on the Sabbath? Watch K-drama. No, it's not. It is to worship God. Worship God. Okay, and chapter 16, verse 29. It says, "See, the Lord has given you Sabbath." God has given them Sabbath. So the third thing they must understand about Sabbath, it is a graciously granted relationship with God. As we are His worshipper, it's something that is graciously granted to us as His worshipper. To worship God, to focus on God. It's a graciously granted. They didn't earn it. So I put here, Sabbath is therefore to seek God, that is a focus, first as a priority, and trust that He will provide. Does it sound familiar to us? In the New Testament, there's the same echo from the words of Jesus. Jesus says, "Seek first God's kingdom and His righteousness." Seek first God, His business, and His character. Focus on God and put Him as priority. And all these things will be given to you. The basic needs of what you wear, what you eat, and what you drink will be given to you. Why do they need to seek God first? What is this test about? Well, the test is that this relationship with God, our Creator, is sufficient. The relationship with God is sufficient because this is what we are made for. This is what we are made for. And the Israelites failed. Chapter 16, verse 27 showed us that the people of God failed again because on the Sabbath day, some of them actually went out to look for manna. They were not interested in focusing on God. They were not interested to put a priority on God. And they were taking for granted this graciously granted relationship with God. So I put there, well, they failed because they don't trust that having this faithful God is enough. Having this faithful God is sufficient. Well, the test shows what is inside the people of God. The test shows actually what is inside us. It shows us to us. What does it show? Well, it shows, I put here, it shows here that obedience to God's word is an evidence of faith in the faithful God. The obedience to God's word, when you are willing to obey God, it is an evidence of a true faith in the faithful God, that He will provide and that this God is enough. And the opposite is true. The lack of obedience demonstrated by the Israelites, the lack of obedience is that they don't really trust God. And let us see, because of that kind of attitude or that kind of heart that they have, a heart that do not trust God, let's see over here their response in these 3 episodes. And I put here to the last portion of our outline. I put that a hungry man is an, what's that closing? Hungry man is an animal. No. Hungry man is an angry man, right? It's an angry man. You know this idiom, yeah. Because when you were hungry, you gave a certain kind of response. And over these 3 episodes, I want us to see that there is actually an increase in intensity in their reaction. Let's take a look at it. Chapter 15, verse 24, there was a simple grumbling. Just one sentence. It says, "What shall we drink?" Just one sentence. It was a simple grumbling, simple grumble. But we come to chapter 16, verse 3. Over bread and meat, the intensity increased. I put it, there was a more intense, discontented and forgetful grumble. Discontented because they actually have a livestock, cattle and herds, but they only want certain type of meat. You can see, that's why it's discontented. forgetful because it says, well, we were sitting in Egypt by pots of meat and bread to the full. But they failed and they forgot that when they were back in Egypt, they were under cruel slavery. They forgot about that. Can you see? They forgot and they said, we were having our barbecue back in Egypt. They forgot it's not Korean barbecue. It was heavy, serious, cruel slavery. And the last portion, chapter 17, verse 2 to 4, you see, use 3 verses to describe these quarrels and grumbling. It's more than quarrel, there was also grumbling, there was also heated quarrel. Okay, let me give us some definition of what the word grumbling means. To grumble really means to complain or to murmur. And it is, sometimes it's direct, but it's not aggressive. But I put that most of the time it is indirect. It is indirect. Okay, but even if it's direct, it's not aggressive. But it reveals a certain attitude in the person. What's the attitude here? The attitude of insubordination to God, actually. Insubordination to God. You say, no, you were complaining against Moses, right? Not to God. Well, take a look at chapter 16, verse 7 and 8. Moses said, it is not us that you are grumbling against, but it is God. When you grumble against God-given authority, the attitude behind is actually rejecting God and not man. Because it is God who put the leader over us. And when we reject this leader, indirectly we are actually rejecting the authority to put this leader in place. So in this kind of attitude, they're actually saying in their hearts, God, if I were you, I will not do this, or I will not put this person in place. For example, maybe at home, just with such an attitude, he's just saying in their heart, says, God, if I were you, I would not give me such a kind of parent. We are actually rejecting a God-given authority at home. So for the young people in our midst, or for the children in our midst, where we fight over handphones with our parents, think very carefully about it. It is not against men alone. It is also against God. And for the rest of us who are working and all this, we also complain, say, God, if I were you, in our grumbling, actually we are saying this, God, if I were you, I would not give me such a lousy teacher, lousy government, church leader, and all. In such complaint against authority, we are actually complaining against God, and we think we are smarter, slightly smarter than God. Can you see that? It is an attitude of insubordination. But the second word here is quarrel. What does quarrel mean? Well, quarrel really means it's also a verbal and physical striving. It is used in chapter 21, and both signs of death is verbal and physical striving. So Moses said to them, in fact, chapter 17, verse 4, the last part, Moses said, see, they were about to stone me. There was this physical aggression as well. So I put that as this destructive action. There's also a destructive action. Well, in their reaction to these trials, it shows the attitude, and it also shows their actions. So I put here, there's a warning here, the unchecked heart, unbelieving heart towards a faithful God will finally escalate to a serious sinful attitude and action. An unchecked heart, a heart that is unbelieving to God, disbelieving God, and the faithfulness of God, will finally escalate to a sinful attitude and action. So we must constantly check our heart whether we are really trusting a faithful God or distrusting Him and disbelieving that He is enough. Such attitude is actually demanding this. Give us our daily bread, and I want it now. That's the title of this sermon. I want it now. Give us our daily bread now. It's a demanding of God. It reveals our heart attitude. So I just suggest maybe 2 ways that we should check our heart. Some of us will ask, how can I check our heart? So when you are met with trials in your life, difficulties in your life, tests in your life, well, first thing, check your heart by A, be aware of your emotions. Whether you're sad, angry, frustrated, or even anxious. Check your emotions, be aware of emotions. And I put that Being aware also means you must be honest with it. Because sometimes when we are angry, people say, for example, your parents take away your handphone and you are angry. Why do you take away my handphone? They say, why are you so angry? No, I'm not angry. So, no, you must be honest. That you check your emotions, be aware of your emotions. Or when you are frustrated over your superiors or your leaders, over a certain decision that's been made, you must be very aware and be honest with your emotions. And second, you ask, why am I reacting in this way? You're asking yourself to find out what's the definition of your needs. Because you see, we also redefine our needs, our basic needs. So it could be when your handphone is taken away for young people, you want to watch something, you think that's your need, or you want to play something, or you want to be connected. That could be the needs that you define for yourself. Or when certain decisions made by leaders, by your superiors, it is not according to your way, you are not recognized, or your methods are not recognized. It could be this that we define as our needs. So we need to constantly check our hearts, lest we develop into sinful attitudes and action. Having said all this, but the real struggle in life goes on. And it's very real when we ask this question, will God really, really provide for my needs? And is God really, really enough? For some students, you'll be asking, for example, on Sunday they have to come to church, they have less time to study, less time to be involved in a CCA performance or achievement, or at least less time with friends, provided their friends or they are awake on Sunday morning. They have less time. Or for some adults, you'll be asking, will God provide me a job or a better job? Or will I find a godly partner in the future? I mean, I don't even have a partner, how to find a godly one in the first place? Some may be asking, some parents may be asking, will God look after my children's future? For the elderly people, they may be thinking, well, how am I going to retire? Will I have good health? So for all of us who are serving in the ministry, serving God in one way or another, we will ask Him, we will always be wondering, will God provide workers? Would I have enough strength and grace for this uphill task that is set before us? Would I have enough resources? Well, this is a real question that we ask. Will God provide our needs? And is He really enough? And if I really obey Him, would I lose out or not? Will I miss the boat? Well, many years after this wilderness experience, someone actually reflected on it. I'm going to show you this conversation. It is important, and we will find the answer in this conversation. I'm going to show you. You don't have to turn to it. Just follow what I mentioned for you. Many years later, someone said this. He said, our father ate manna in the wilderness, and it's written, and for he gave them bread from heaven to eat. And the reply came, well, truly, truly, I say to you, it was not Moses who gave you the bread from heaven, but my Father give you the true bread from heaven. All of us who know where it is from, we are quite familiar with this. This is John chapter 6. Don't need to turn to it, but follow me with this account. This is very important. And the conversation continues. And say this. The conversation continues. It says this. For the bread of God is He who comes down from heaven and gives life to the world. And your father ate the manna in the wilderness, and they still died. They had all their basic needs met. They had bread, they had meat, they had water, and they still died. And the last conversation, Jesus said, truly, truly, I say to you, unless you eat the flesh of the Son of Man and drink His blood, you have no life in you. Whoever feeds on my flesh and drink my blood has eternal life, and I will raise him up on the last day. But a side note to this, Jesus wasn't talking about communion just like some of the earlier Roman Catholic Church was advocating. Jesus was actually, in the context of here, reflecting on the wilderness account, our passage today. Because the Old Testament was actually preparing the people about the coming Savior Jesus. The true bread from heaven is our Lord Jesus. God has provided for our greatest need. And a need more basic than what sociologists or psychologists has actually defined for us. Our greatest need is to have the right relationship with God, our Creator. And we don't, you see, by nature, naturally we don't trust God to be faithful, to be the provider. And we don't naturally also treasure Him. We don't focus on Him. And we won't put a priority on Him, and we won't treasure the relationship that He has granted us. How do we know? Well, when we go through tests in our life, it reveals our heart condition. When we begin to grumble, when we begin to become angry or even aggressive. But it does show that we are defined by our basic needs already. When we don't get what we want, whether materially, relationships, or recognitions, anything other than God, we are actually more like the Israelites than unlike them. And God actually graciously grants this relationship with Him to all of us. It is seen in how He grants Sabbath graciously given to them, a relationship with Him. And this was granted to them at a very high cost. The bread of heaven, His own Son. So in order to save us, Jesus actually over here offers His flesh and His blood. He's not talking about communion. He's really talking about that He would die on the cross to pay the penalty of sin for us. So to eat and drink of Him is not to partake in Holy Communion. It's really talking about that you place your faith in His work, complete work on the cross. And when you do that, He will naturally lead you to obedience towards Him, because you no longer trust yourself, but you trust in Him. So remember, we say that obedience is evidence of faith in the faith of God, and that He is enough. And God has provided us with this most urgent and basic need for us. A need to be forgiven of our sin thoroughly, and a need to be put right in a relationship with Him. And not just that, a need every day of our life. Just like the manna needed to be collected every day, we need Jesus not just when we become Christians. We need Jesus every day of our life. We need Him every day. So the manna reminded them that they need God every day. We need this Jesus every day to live our Christian life. And He did this at a very high cost of heaven. He gave us the bread of heaven. He gave us His own precious Son, our Lord Jesus. If He had done this for us, we ask ourselves this question: will this faithful God not able to take care of us in other smaller needs that we have? If He have already taken care of the biggest need that we have, will food, relationships, money, strength not be given to us? So the right response to trust in this God, I put here, is to obey our Lord Jesus Christ. To put our faith in Him and to obey Him. This is the right response of faith to Him. A right response of faith to Him. I'd like to suggest to you 3 areas: work and study. If you are afraid as a student, because you're afraid that you will have fewer hours to study on Sunday mornings by coming to church, or you are afraid that you lose out your time just because you join a church gathering for Bible studies or outings or anything, well, in obedience, what you do is, in obedience to the Lord and in trust in Him, you put your effort, your full effort in other days of the week to work hard, and you probably have to cut down your screen time. And in trust in God, to obey Him by coming together with God's people on Sunday, and on other times that you gather to study His Word. You put a priority and your focus on this gracious God who has graciously given us this relationship with Him. And you trust that you will not lose out in life. It is the same for those who are working as well. You may have to work on Sunday sometimes, but you have to trust God. Second area, finance. If you think that by doing something where the friends are doing, example gambling, buying 4D, and they get their needs or their more extra money, then you have to stop. You have to obey God because you trust that He will take care of our basic needs. And if you are afraid that you lose out your business just because you come to church, because you skip it. Then therefore you start skipping church or start skipping maybe IDGs or something. Then you have to stop. You have to put that priority on Him, to focus on God, that He has graciously granted to us this relationship. Last area, relationship. If you are thinking of a relationship or starting a relationship that's not Christ-centered, for example, you are thinking of dating a non-Christian, or are already dating a non-Christian, or even a Christian who is not interested in Jesus Himself, then you have to stop. You have to trust God. In obedience, you have to stop. You have to trust God that He will provide when you seek Him and putting Him as a priority, and we focusing on God. I put the word focus here because there are some Christians, they travel from churches to churches, not to seek God, but to seek girlfriend. So you must trust God, to put a priority on Him and focus on Him. And even if finally you are single, you have to trust God that God will provide a family in the church for you. God will still do that because He has already provided for us the most basic of the basic needs, the right relationship with Him through our Lord Jesus Christ. And Jesus continues every day to be the manner for us every day, to provide us strength, guidance, safety. Let us pray. Do you really trust in the faithful God who has given you His Son? Do you really trust that this God who made you, who loves you, died for you on the cross and rose again, and give you His Holy Spirit, is sufficient, is enough for your life now and eternity to come? Do you believe? If you do believe, tell Him now. In your prayer, whisper a prayer to Him and say, God, I want to believe. Help my unbelief. Oh Lord, God, You are faithful, but many times we are faithless. You are trustworthy, but many times, Lord, we turn our eyes away from You and look at the material world that we have. And we begin to trust in this material world, trust in what we see and touch and feel, rather we trust in You and hear Your word. Forgive us, God. We want to believe in You. Help our unbelief. We thank You for giving us the breath of heaven, Your own Son. We met our most basic need. We trust that You will continue to meet our need every day. And we need Jesus every day. We thank You, Lord, for giving us Your Son. We thank You, Lord Jesus, for giving us Your Spirit to live in us, to guide us, to protect us, to lead us. We pray that, God, our lives will be an evidence of obedience to You because we trust in what You say. Hear us, not just us, but the whole church as well. We pray this, looking to God forward for You to work in our lives, in our church lives. We pray all this in Jesus' name.